I'd like to welcome everyone to the Municipal Council meeting. Please rise to the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll have personal appeals part one. Does anybody have a personal appeal? I don't know if we have. Do we have any Zoom guests?
Hold on, just X off of it, Sarah. No, you minimized.
We do have some virtual guests. At this time, we'll have Sarah unmute our virtual guests. If there's anybody that has a personal appeal, please state your name, where you're from, and what your appeal is.
Hi, this is Ashley, Emmaus Main Street Manager. We wanted to come on here officially. Sorry we weren't there in person. The roads were just a little icy to make our way from outside the borough over. But I wanted to formally introduce one of our newest teammates, Hayden Rindy. She's on with us this evening, and we wanted to give a brief report of Emmaus Main Street Partners and also the East Penn Chamber. So Hayden, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. My name is Hayden Rindy. I have been with the Chamber of Commerce since September, so I have had the pleasure of meeting several of you, and I look forward to meeting those who I have not had the chance to meet yet here in the future. I work with Ashley in the office on Main Street. Some of the big initiatives that we have that we're currently working on are East Penn Restaurant Week, which will be February 27th through March 5th of this year. Currently, we have some local favorites like Volpe's, McDonald's of Emmaus, East Penn Diner, and Yaco's all confirmed, and we're still working on confirming many others. Some other events that we have coming up is our second annual dessert and wine pairing. We will be holding that probably virtually again this year, but it's a lot of fun trying different desserts from local restaurants. We also have the Food Truck Festival, which we wanted to thank you all for your consideration of that event. We look forward to hearing more from the council on whether or not we will be able to move forward with that event. And then we also have Rocktoberfest that we hold each year through the East Penn Chamber of Commerce. So that will be in October, and we are excited to host that again this year. We wanted to thank you all for your support and attendance of the ribbon cuttings. Emmaus always has a great turnout for the ribbon cutting. So we had Ott Consulting and Yergi Brewing, which come to mind last fall. So we were really looking forward to another great year of welcoming new businesses to the borough. We wanted to recognize Councilwoman McManaman and just say thank you so much for sitting on our East Penn board, as well as the Emmaus Main Street Partners board, and just taking time out of your day to be involved with both. So again, my name is Hayden. It's so nice to meet you all. And those who I have not met in person, I look forward to doing so here soon.
On behalf of Main Street Partners, we have a couple events coming up for Q1, like our New Year's Mixer, Soup Crawl, and Bingo. We're looking forward to partnerships and getting feet into our businesses. We are launching the second round of veterans banners. Thank you to our Public Works team for taking such good care of those banners and being diligent about going up and down, up and down, up and down, installing new banner arms. Thank you to Council for your support of the summer concert series. We're looking forward to partnering again with Recreation and Entertainment Commission and the Arts Commission. And this coming Thursday, we have our monthly roundtable, and we're going to be reviewing events and initiatives that we did in 2021, as well as looking forward to 2022 and our plans for that. And of course, we welcome input from our community about what we can do to best support our local business and organization community. And finally, we've had the opportunity for the past 2 years to help local businesses with grants. So big shout out to Lehigh County for including us in part of that and also giving some of those funds to our Emmaus businesses. It's not currently open, but it will be open in the next 2 weeks. We're holding on to a wait list. So if you know of a business that could use funding support, send them our way. We'll put them on the wait list so they can get an email as soon as the funding is available. Is there any questions for us?
Any questions? Nope, I think you explained it well. Thank you.
All
Next,
right.
Hayden.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
All right, do we have any other Zoom public appeals? If so, just state your name and where you're from and what your appeal is. Hearing none? Okay, I'll call for public appeals before I went to Zoom. All right, so you can remute them, which leads us to community minute. Does anybody have a community minute to bring forward? All right. No special presentations. We had the meeting minutes from January 3rd, 2022. Would somebody like to make a motion to approve those meeting minutes? Councilman Hart, second by Councilwoman Baumgartner. Any corrections or additions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? There are 7 ayes. Decisions on bid. We have the environmental and abatement contract. Sargent Enterprises was the lowest bidder of $164,624 out of 4 bidders. I believe if I read the right notes, this is actually lower than what we were estimating, so that's good news. And would somebody like to make that in the form of a motion? Councilman Andrews, seconded by Councilman Dufresne. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? There are 7 ayes. We received 2 communications. One to a request to change the date for the 2022 snow blast. The new date will now be March 5th. They felt that with Omicron going on right now and a lot of people being infected by that, they felt it was just wiser to have it a couple weeks later. So I don't think we need to take action on that. The staff will handle that. All right. And we also received a letter from Carrie Schreppel requesting reappointment to the Arts Commission for term expiring February 7th of 2025. We have no borough engineers report, no solicitors report, unfinished business part 1, new business, unfinished business part 2. We have none of that. Anybody have any items to bring forward? That's not on the agenda. All right, and that leads us to the Madam Mayor's report.
Thank you. I just want Chief Jones for his years of service to the borough. He is retiring at the end of this month, so I want to thank him for everything that he has done and wish him well in whatever he decides to do next. Roberts.
Thank you. Committee reports. We have Public Works Committee Chairman Anders.
Nothing for official action, just a thank you to Public Works for their efforts in the snow removal and salting the last 24 plus hours. We meet on this Wednesday at 4 p.m. And with that, I'll report progress.
Thank you. Health, Sanitation, and Codes Committee Chairman Balliet.
Thank you, Mr. President. For tonight on my agenda, I would like to make a motion to have Todd Ackerman and Michael Gibson as an alternate represent the Borough of Emmaus at the Southwestern Lehigh Comprehensive.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Balliet, and is there a second? Councilwoman McManaman. Any discussion?
These guys,
Oh.
I guess on the discussion part, these guys put a ton of time and energy and effort into this, and this whole plan is all the local boroughs and municipalities and stuff like that, and the things that come out of this are really going to, I think, help steer our community in the future. So I'd like to thank those guys for all the time that they put into this.
Thank you.
So this just as a reminder, this is to replace Brent Stringfellow, who has resigned from the commission because he's gotten a new job down at the University of Texas in Austin. So this is a once-a-month meeting with all the municipalities in the Southwest Comprehensive Plan.
Okay.
So
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? There's 7 ayes. Is there an actual time limit for that, or you're just on that?
It's
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 forever?
Forever.
Okay.
The next thing that I need action on is Fields at Indian Creek are requesting their LOC reduction in the amount of $125,000. Actually, it's not. It's 125,280.95 cents. And I would like to place that in the form of a motion with the condition that everything is met and our engineers agree that they have met all of the conditions.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Bally. Is there a second? Councilwoman McManaman, any questions? I have a question. What does LOC reduction actually stand for?
That's a letter of credit.
Letter of credit.
Yeah, so when these major developments, they have to post a certain amount of credit. These developers like this want that credit reduced, so that way they can put that against another project. So as they finish work, they're able to ask for those reductions.
I've seen it before, and I know I asked before, I just couldn't remember what it was. Thank you.
Just any, Councilman, just a quick question for Shane. How much do they have left as far as building
I'm not completely sure, to be honest.
Isn't it around like a dozen or 15?
Yeah, I think they have like 10 or 12.
Okay.
But I'm not, I know that these things,
I know it's selling.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? There are 7 ayes.
We're still waiting on the or the crosswalk.
Okay, for Cedar Crest.
Yeah, so they will not get final. Like a letter of credits and things will not be finalized and released until that is finished.
Our next meeting is coming up here Wednesday, January 26th at 4:45. That'll be Zoom. And with that, I'll report progress.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation Committee Chairwoman Baumgartner.
We have nothing for official action. Our first meeting of the year is February 1st at 4:45 p.m. via Zoom. I report progress.
Thank you. Public Safety Committee Chairman Hart.
Thank you, Mr. President. We did not have a regular meeting. However, we did complete our search process for the chief of police position. Recall, it was decided that we wanted to include outside candidates in that search, necessarily to believe that we had no interest. We certainly did. And it was a very, I think, rewarding experience. To give you some numbers, we had 98 total candidates submit their applications. 76 were from outside the state. 26 were from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I personally looked at every one of the applications and resumes. Some very impressive individuals. That was narrowed down by Mr. Pepe and his staff to 11 candidates. They were interviewed by the mayor, Mr. Pepe, Chief Shantz, and who else?
Sarah.
Sarah, thank you. That was narrowed down to 4 individuals that were presented to the Public Safety Committee for interview. One individual at the last moment did pull out, so we ended up with 3 candidates. I can tell you that the 3 final candidates, all in my eyes, were qualified to become chief of police. Perhaps some other ones that we do bring forward. These were like the number 3 person in the city of Philadelphia, the number 2 person retired from the state police, those kinds of things, kinds of individuals. Very impressive. After considering everything and without any dissent among the public safety committee members, we overwhelmingly endorsed Jason Apgar to be our candidate to move forward for your consideration this evening. And perhaps for the press is say a little bit about Jason. Jason has been on the police force for quite some time. Actually, he started off as a park police back in 1991. Went to a patrolman in 2000. Became a detective in 2002 and detective sergeant in 2016. As council recalls, he also made him deputy chief this past year. So he's had the experience in the management side. Without a doubt, we felt that Jason Apgar was the candidate that would serve the mass, hopefully into the next decade. So with that, I'll make a recommendation that we appoint Jason Apgar as chief of police to the borough of Lawrence.
Motion by Councilman Hart, is there a second? Councilwoman McManaman? Any discussion or comments? I just want to say, I actually took the time to look at his resume. And I was just totally blown away, and I don't know what the right word was, but I felt bad that I didn't know he had all those accomplishments. But he had 5 full pages of certifications in his training. And just looking at it, if you actually take the time to look at all the things he trained in, it's mind-boggling how much he's actually educated on. So that I'm very excited about
Well,
this.
and highly educated, has a master's degree in forensic technology. Jason also received the honor of being named the Lehigh Valley Police Officer of the Year 3, 4. It's been a little bit. It's been a little bit now, I guess. I guess Chief Fowles is still the chief.
Yes.
So probably 6 years ago. I can tell you, it was a laborious process, especially for me in the middle of a lot of other things. And I had said to council, look, don't make me go through this if we're just going to circle the wagon. But what I'll tell you is, coming out of the first round of interviews, it was evident to me, and I was being as objective as possible, that Jason stood out, and he stood out among individuals that were extremely highly qualified. I have worked with a lot of chiefs of police. I can honestly say I've never been so excited to work with this individual. I think he brings a different level of professionalism to that department. I think that he's a different kind of chief than what they're used to seeing. So I truly hope that he can take that department even further than where they are. Not saying that they aren't, one of the absolute best departments out there, but I think he can take them to that next level.
Any other comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? There are 7 ayes. Congratulations to him.
Just one question, should that motion have had a start date? Technically, we still have a chief. Until his retirement.
Yeah, so I would like you guys to swear him in at your next council meeting. Maybe you can make another motion on top of that of a start date.
Just make a motion to amend.
I'll amend my original motion to make that appointed, whatever the next council is.
February 7th, next meeting.
Right, a motion by Councilman Hart, is there a second?
I amend, I'll amend the second.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, second, that's been amended by Councilwoman McManaman. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? There are 7 ayes. Progress, John?
August. Our next meeting is January 27th. We moved our meeting date, but it will still be 9 o'clock.
General Administration Committee is myself. We have the Department of Environmental Impact Protection Consent Order and Agreement for the PFAS. Would somebody like to make a motion to approve that agreement? Councilwoman Baumgartner, seconded by Councilman Dufresne. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? There's 7 ayes. We have a list of the volunteer safety, employee and volunteer safety committee, and I will read that off. It's For administration, we had Shane Pepe, alternate Sarah Jared Eaton, term beginning March 6th of 12.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when it started, okay. And that goes infinitely. Codes and zoning, we have Robert Hammond, alternate Brian Billheimer. Term begins 1/1/21, and that's also infinite. Police, we had Joe Longenbach, alternate Brian Hampshire. Term begins 1/1/21 and it expires 12/31/22. Fire, we have Chris Lubineski, alternate John Price. That's also January 1st of 21. Term expiring 12/31/22. Ambulance, we have JT Flieger, alternate Matthew West, January 1st of this year, going to December 31st of 22. Public Works, we have Brent Reed, alternate Troy Bauer, January 1st of 22 to December 31st of 23. And then for clerical, we had Teresa Pullman, alternate Sally Hosfeld, also January 1st of 22 and December 31st of 23 is the expiration of that term. And then it has all the meeting dates listed. Somebody like to make a motion to approve the list? Councilman Dufresne, seconded by Councilman Hart. Any questions? They've been doing this for a while and they rotate them out every 2 years. And by this point, we have a lot of people that are recycling now, right?
Yeah, I mean, every department's been rotating their members except for those.
Hey, you now you do have somebody that can go.
No, I can be your alternate.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? There are 7 ayes. We have the Public Works Collective Bargaining Agreement to approve tonight. After extending the contract for a month, they took a vote and they approved the previous bargain contract. So would somebody like to make a motion on the Public Works Collective Bargaining Agreement?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Hart, seconded by Councilman Anders. Any discussion or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? There are 7 ayes. We will have our first meeting of the year this Thursday at 9 a.m. via Zoom. So if anyone wants to, in the public wants to join in, you have to go onto the borough's website, and that would be for any of the committee meetings. If you want to join in on any of the committee meetings, just go onto the website and it will give you the information to log in to the Zoom meeting. Progress. Budget.
On that day, is that one of our days where we have a slight delay? And
This Thursday might be.
I'm just trying to.
Let me just make sure.
Because of what?
9:30.
Yeah, the county tax collection meeting is. at
Okay,
8:30.
so-
Yeah, this one starts at 9:30.
Okay.
That might even be updated on the website. It was. I
Or they
think it
can
was
sit there for a
9:00.
half hour and wait for administrator to let them in.
Sarah, can you just check the website tomorrow morning?
All right, Budget and Finance Committee Chairman DeFrank.
Thank you, Mr. President. So you can see the significant revenue and expenses for the first half of January listed there. We do have one item for official action tonight. It's resolution 2022-4, resolved by Borough Council to authorize the payment of the January 17th, 2022 bill list as follows. Bill list $159,918.41. Payroll number 1, $208,272.45. Payroll taxes, $71,584.84. Total $439,775.70 done this 17th of January 2022, and I put that in the form of a motion.
Motion by Councilman DeFrank to approve the bill list, seconded by Councilman Hart. Any questions on the bill list? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? There are 7 ayes.
Then I have progress, and our next meeting is Thursday, January 20th at 11 a.m. on Zoom.
Thank you. Community Relations Planning and Development Committee Chairwoman McManaman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Nothing for official action. Our first meeting of the year is Monday, February 14th at 4:30. We report progress.
I can get out of the meeting in January. All right, that concludes our committee reports. We have one set of meeting minutes from the Recreation and Entertainment Commission. And that leads us to personal appeals part 2. Does anybody have a personal appeal? We'll unmute our Zoom guests. If there's anybody on Zoom that has an appeal, please state your name and what your appeal is. Anybody? Hearing none? That leads us to the Borough Manager's report.
All right, so I have a couple things. First of all, in addition to Chief Shots, which I can't say much more than what the mayor said about without making fun of him. We do also have John Dyschel retiring to your next council meeting as well, and just like Troy, contributions that John has made as our public works director are greatly appreciated, and he'll be greatly missed. I think John took over that department at a time where we needed a person like John to take over that department, and he's really been a valuable asset to our community. So, so thank you to John. The mayor and I will be in touch with each of you as far as something that we'll do for both individuals. We're working on it.
Billboard?
No, I'm not gonna spring for a billboard.
Hey, I just want to point out, the one light on the billboard, we want to see it at nighttime.
I know.
The one light is out.
You know,
I want to let them know.
that was extra. I didn't have enough money for. So again, thank you to both gentlemen. You know, the leadership from both of them throughout the years in their roles has helped advance both of those departments. So, the second thing is again another item that was kind of a last minute thing here. You'll see an agenda item for an easement agreement for parcels located on South Fifth Street. This is for we have 2 water towers up on South Fifth Street, or 2 holding tanks, and there's an individual buying a piece of land that is off of the driveway that they share the driveway with, and they're looking for us to sign an easement agreement so that they can close. I put it on your agenda because, of course, it's like time sensitive for them, but at the same time, I had solicitor Ulrich start taking a look at it because they're claiming that there was no easement agreement. Can't believe there wasn't. I couldn't believe there wasn't something, but that's where his expertise comes in. He did report to me again, and it was another Friday morning kind of thing. So he did take a look at it, and he has a few comments, which I'll have to make. What I'm going to ask you for is another motion to approve it contingent upon the solicitor's final review and approval. And there's some work that I think needs to be done and finalized before we can actually sign anything. So.
Yeah, so we did take a look at this. The issue is the easement we received from the proposed buyer doesn't really address any of the maintenance or improvement with respect to the easement. We did a little digging. We did find the original 1991 easement. It is only strictly between the Hartmans and prior Forstoffers. So we went back and looked. There's a reference to an easement agreement that was a settlement listed in the county records for an actual litigation for quiet title. Because the courthouse was closed today, I couldn't pull that. It's from 1990, so it wasn't available online. I want to see what was agreed upon in that settlement before I would recommend that this be signed, because we don't want to be putting ourselves on the hook for any maintenance when somebody else is going to be using it. So that's really the only issue with this. Other than that, it's, these people need to use that property, and it looks like there is some legal mechanism in place to enforce the actual usage of the easement. But until we see that, I can't really approve it or recommend that you guys sign it without putting yourselves in any potential liability.
So that will be found out tomorrow.
I should, yeah, we have a runner running over there to get it.
Okay.
So I would just ask for you to make a motion contingent upon his final review and approval. So that way, once we get his blessing, we can get paperwork signed.
All right, somebody would like to make a motion to approve the easement agreement contingent upon the solicitor's approval. Councilman Dufresne, second by Councilwoman McManamy. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? There's 7 ayes.
Other than that, I don't think I have anything else for you for today. You have any questions for me? Or not for me.
Everything's going all right on the bond stuff, I would assume.
Yes, I have a bond rating meeting with rating company later this week, I believe. Thursday, maybe. Thursday, all right? Friday.
Okay,
Friday.
everything's going with.
So yeah, so the bond rating is gonna be the key piece of it, but the timing is, timing, everything seems to be on. It's really gonna come down to what the bond amount is and what the bid amounts are, right? So, and I think the timing kind of lines up that we're gonna know what the bid amounts are by the time the bonds close. So,
Good. Thank you.
Progress.
progress.
Under President's business, I would just like to say to the Chief Shantz and John Dyshella, we'll be missed. They're part of this history. Chief Shantz has been around since, geez, when was he a patrolman? How long ago is that?
It's been 30 years.
Yeah, so long time. And John, before he became Public Works Director, he worked for the department for how long, Shane? Because I'm not even sure about that.
He'd been the assistant director for 5 or 6 years before that.
And before that, was he employed just as a worker? Or
No.
he was hired as a,
Yeah.
okay. So they'll be missed, but at the same time, it's exciting to move forward and have new people come in and bring new ideas and excited to see what's going to come forward. So with that, I'll say progress. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion by Councilwoman Baumgartner, seconded by Councilman Hart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned at 7:33.